The presidency of Barack Obama began at noon Est on January 20, 2009, when he became the 44th President of the United States. Obama's running mate, Senator Joe Biden of Delaware, took office as vice president on the same day. Obama was a United States Senator from Illinois at the time of his victory over Republican Senator John McCain of Arizona in the 2008 presidential election. Obama is the first African-American president, the first non-white president, the first president born in Hawaii, and the 16th Democratic president. Obama's first-term actions addressed the global financial crisis and included a major stimulus package, the partial extension of the Bush tax cuts, legislation to reform health care, a major financial regulation reform bill, and the end of a major U.S. military presence in Iraq. Obama also appointed Sonia Sotomayor and Elena Kagan to the Supreme Court. Sotomayor is the first Hispanic American to serve on the Supreme Court, following the 2010 elections, in which Republicans took control of the House. Obama and congressional Republicans engaged in a protracted standoff over government spending levels and the debt ceiling. Obama was elected to a second term on November 6, 2012, making him the 17th person to win 2 United States presidential elections. In his second term, Obama signed executive orders to limit carbon emissions and protect many illegal immigrants from deportation, and negotiated a thaw in relations with Cuba and a multilateral agreement on the nuclear program of Iran. Obama and congressional Republicans continued to grapple over government spending and other issues. But Obama did sign a major bipartisan bill that reduced the role of the federal government in K-12 education. Obama also presided over the implementation of the Affordable Care Act and other legislation passed in his first term. Obama's second term saw most U.S. soldiers withdraw from Afghanistan, though the United States currently plans to keep soldiers in Afghanistan until at least 2017. Obama's presidency is set to end on January 20, 2017, when the 45th president is expected to take office. Major legislation and treaties. Transition period and inauguration. The presidential transition period began following Obama's election to the presidency on November 4, 2008. The Obama-Biden Transition Project was co-chaired by John Podesta, Valerie Jarrett, and Pete Rouse. During the transition period, Obama announced nominations for his cabinet and administration. In November 2008, Congressman Rahm Emanuel accepted Obama's offer to serve as White House Chief of Staff. Obama was inaugurated on January 20, 2009, succeeding George W. Bush. Obama officially assumed the presidency at 1200 noon Est, and completed the oath of office at 12:05 p.m. Est. He delivered his inaugural address immediately following his oath. In administering the oath, Chief Justice John G. Roberts misplaced the word faithfully, and erroneously replaced the phrase, President of the United States, with President of the United States. On January 21, Roberts re-administered the oath to Obama in a private ceremony in the White House map room, based on what White Counsel Greg Craig described as an abundance of caution. First 100 days. Within minutes of taking the oath of office on January 20, Obama's chief of staff, Rahm Emanuel, issued an order suspending last-minute federal regulations pushed through by outgoing President George W. Bush, planning to review everything still pending. In his first week in office, Obama signed Executive Order 13,492 suspending all the ongoing proceedings of Guantanamo Military Commission and ordering the detention facility to be shut down within the year. He also signed Executive Order 13,491 ensuring lawful interrogations, requiring the Army Field Manual to be used as a guide for terror interrogations. banning torture and other coercive techniques, such as waterboarding. Obama also issued an executive order entitled Ethics Commitments by Executive Branch Personnel, setting stricter limitations on incoming executive branch employees and placing tighter restrictions on lobbying in the White House. Obama signed 2 presidential memoranda concerning energy independence, ordering the Department of Transportation to establish higher fuel efficiency standards before 2011 models are released and allowing states to raise their emissions standards above the national standard. He also ended the Mexico City policy, which banned federal grants to international groups that provide abortion services or counseling. On January 29, Obama signed a bill for the first time in his presidency. The Lilly-led Better Fair Pay Act of 2009 revised the statute of limitations for filing pay discrimination lawsuits. On February 3, he signed the Children's Health Insurance Program Reauthorization Act, expanding CHIP's healthcare coverage from 7 million children to 11 million children. On March 9, 2009, Obama lifted restrictions on federal funding of embryonic stem cell research, and in doing so, called into question some of George W. Bush's signing statements. Obama stated that he too would employ signing statements if he deems upon review that a portion of a bill is unconstitutional, and he has issued several signing statements. Obama also signed a law raising the cigarette pack tax by 62 cents. Perhaps the most important action of Obama's first 100 days was the passage of the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act to address the Great Recession. After much debate, ARRA was passed by both the House and Senate on February 13, 2009. Originally intended to be a bipartisan bill, passage of the bill through Congress relied largely on Democratic votes. No House Republicans voted in favor of the bill, though 3 moderate Republican senators did vote for the bill. The $787 billion bill combined tax breaks with spending on infrastructure projects, extension of welfare benefits, and education. Obama signed the act into law on February 17, 2009. Personnel. Cabinet appointees. Following his inauguration, Obama and the Senate worked to confirm his nominees to the United States Cabinet. 3 cabinet-level offices did not require confirmation. Vice President Joe Biden, who Obama had chosen as his running mate at the 2008 Democratic National Convention, Chief of Staff Rahm Emanuel, and Defense Secretary Robert Gates, who Obama chose to retain from the previous administration. Obama described his cabinet choices as a team of rivals, and Obama chose several prominent public officials for cabinet positions, including former Democratic primary rival Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State. Obama nominated several former Clinton administration officials to the cabinet and to other positions. Most nominees were confirmed by the end of January, including Ray LaHood, one of 2 Republicans to serve in Obama's initial cabinet. Eric Holder and Hilda Solis won confirmation in February, and Ron Kirk was confirmed in March. Gary Locke won confirmation as Commerce Secretary on March 26, after Bill Richardson and Republican Senator Judd Gregg both withdrew their names from consideration. Former Kansas Governor Kathleen Sebelius, the second choice for Secretary of Health and Human Services after the withdrawal of Tom Daschle, won confirmation on April 28 in a 65-31 vote. In 2010, Peter Orszag became the first cabinet-level officer to step down. He was replaced by Deputy Secretary of State Jack Lew. Later in 2010, Emanuel stepped down from his position in order to run for mayor of Chicago. After Pete Rouse served as interim chief of staff, Emanuel was succeeded by former Commerce Secretary William M. Daley, who in turn was replaced by OMB Director Jack Lew. In 2013, Dennis McDonough succeeded Lew, and McDonough eventually became the first chief of staff to serve for longer than 2 years. In 2011, Gary Locke became the first executive department head to leave office, as he succeeded John Huntsman as ambassador to China. Gates stepped down as Defense Secretary in 2011, and was succeeded in turn by CIA Director Leon Panetta, former Republican Senator Chuck Hagel, and Deputy Secretary of Defense Ashton Carter. Clinton stepped down in 2013, and was succeeded by Senate Foreign Relations Committee Chairman John Kerry. In his second term, Obama appointed two young Democratic mayors to his cabinet. Anthony Fox succeeded Ray LaHood as Transportation Secretary in 2013, while Julian Castro succeeded Sean Donovan as HUD Secretary in 2014. Eric Holder stepped down in 2015, and was succeeded by Loretta Lynch after a lengthy confirmation process. Arne Duncan announced that he would step down in 2015, leaving Tom Vilsack and Vice President Biden as the final remaining or original members of Obama's cabinet. Notable non-cabinet positions: Chair of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation Sheila Bair won Martin J. Gruenberg, Special Envoy for Afghanistan and Pakistan Richard Holbrooke, Mark Grossman, James Dobbins, Daniel F. Feldman, Assistant to the President for National Security Affairs James L. Jones, Thomas E. Donilon, Susan Rice, Special Envoy to the Middle East George J. Mitchell, David Hale, Martin Indyk, Frank Lowenstein, Director of National Intelligence John Michael McConnell, Dennis C. Blair, David C. Gompert, James R. Clapper, Director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation Robert Mueller II, James Comey, Director of the Central Intelligence Agency Leon Panetta, Michael Morrell, David Petraeus, Michael Morrell, John O. Brennan, one appointed by George W. Bush in 2006 to a 5-year term, two appointed by George W. Bush in 2001 to a 10-year term, 3 includes time spent as counselor to the President. Judicial nominees: United States Supreme Court. Obama appointed the following justices to the Supreme Court of the United States: Sonia Sotomayor, replacing David Souter, 2009. Elena Kagan, replacing John Paul Stevens, 2010. Other courts. Obama's presidency saw the continuation of battles between both parties for the confirmation of judicial nominees. In 2009, Democratic Senator Patrick Leahy criticized Republicans for stalling judicial nominations, and Democrats continually accused Republicans of stalling nominees throughout Obama's tenure. After several nomination battles, Senate Democrats in 2013 reformed the use of the filibuster so that it could no longer be used on executive or judicial nominations. Republicans took over the Senate after the 2014 elections, giving them the power to block any judicial nominee. Obama's judicial nominees have been significantly more diverse than those of previous administrations, with more appointments going to women and minorities.